An era
Back.
long
We're back.
past
There we go.
as monarch-
Don't change anything. OBS changes it for you. Let's finish Castlevania Lament. Shall we? I said last week, like, we'll do, like, all the extra stuff and that. I don't know how I feel about that this week. So let's see how we feel. There is a key in the final area. And depending how long it takes me to get there, and how I'm feeling when we get there, we'll see if we do some of the extra stuff. But anyway, we've killed all 5 bosses, and now this door is open. Odd that the cutscene doesn't just start when we enter this room.
Welcome to my castle. Pleased to meet you. I am the master of the castle, Walter Bernhard.
Give back Sara!
Do not rush. Your lady is here.
Sara! Why? Why won't she answer?
It seems the lady is tired.
Side of your bullshit.
It seems you are too. Rest a while.
What?
Well, that whip is Ronaldo's, is it?
Throw the holy water in.
Can't be. My attack doesn't work.
I see. It's just as that knight said. Very well. You've made it this far. I'll return her as a reward.
Sara!
The camera cuts in this cutscene are really odd.
Room on the highest floor. I look forward to you making it there alive.
Leon, is that you?
Yes.
You're awake. Thank goodness. A friend is waiting for us. Let's go see him first. Sara, this way. Sara, what's the matter?
What's all this racket?
Ronaldo, Sara suddenly...
Oh no. You go on inside.
But...
There's nothing you can do. Wait quietly inside.
Okay.
All right. Please. Take care of Sara. How is Sara doing?
She's sleeping in the back.
What in the world happened?
The barrier around this house. It responded.
What What are you saying? That's not possible.
There's no use hiding it. So I'll tell you plainly. That girl has been tainted by the vampire.
Which explains why he gave her back, so...
You're lying! That can't be!
Why would I lie to you? You must accept the truth.
Please. Tell me you're lying.
Seriously, the camera cuts are so odd here.
She is not a vampire yet, to be precise. She won't even be aware of it. But as time passes, she will gradually lose her humanity. Like my daughter.
Is there anything I can do?
The only thing would be to defeat Walter immediately.
Tell me, is this whip effective against him?
Why do you ask?
I tried to strike him with it, but it didn't seem to work.
It is as I thought then. It didn't even work for you.
Oh, something you suspected but
Isn't
never
there
bothered
another
telling
way?
me?
Well, there is, but
Tell me, I'll do anything.
then let me ask you this. Can you kill that girl?
What are you saying?
If you make the whip complete, you can destroy him. But in order to do that, you need a tainted soul. One that trusts you, and one that you can trust.
I abandoned everything in order to save Sara. I could never do such a thing.
Even knowing she's not human, it's a difficult thing to do. I'm not surprised.
Is she really? Is Sara really?
There's no doubt about it. I confirmed the bite mark. The fact that the barrier responded is proof above all else.
Sara!
Did she overhear us just now?
Sara!
Please, stay away.
Sara, calm down. Did you hear us talking? It's okay. Please, trust me. I will save you. I will. You'll see.
I appreciate how you feel, but I have no time left.
No time.
I can feel it. My heartbeat is weakening, and my blood is growing cold. I can feel myself changing into something inhuman.
Where did you get the knife?
My soul can save others, then I won't die in vain. I do not want anyone else to suffer my fate.
Why?
Please,
Hey, how you doing, Miss Solitaire, man?
if you still love me, please grant me my final wish.
I cannot.
You dishonor yourself, Leon. How do you think Sara feels?
I know, Ronaldo. I do know, but...
I'm doing okay.
Leon, all that is needed now
Doing okay.
is your resolve.
Leon, I will be with you.
Ronaldo. What must I do?
So,
Here we go.
you've decided
Just in time for the true origin of Castlevania.
you must enter into a blood covenant with Sara's soul. Focus your spirit on Sara. All becomes one in infinity. The tainted soul joins his undesired and cursed soul. His blood accepts your hatred for the power to slay!
swear to you, no more will suffer your fate!
Thank you, Leon.
Sara.
That was one of the forbidden secrets described in the book belonging to Matthias's family. Now that whip has become the bane of the children of the night.
Yes, I can tell. The power of hatred and destruction that the whip has against vampires.
It has become a vampire
sorry.
killer.
It couldn't be helped. It is no one's fault. It was what Sara wanted.
Are you going already?
Yes. I must keep the promise I made to Sara.
I see. Come back again anytime. I can be of some help to you.
I don't have it. Oh yeah, of course it's in. I forgot. Bear with me a second. I'm doing something I probably. But I forgot, or it never crossed. That'll be too. Yeah, I think go with this. God damn it. Oh, this is gonna actually. Thank you, Pan. No, I'm just setting something up that I'm hoping will be viable. I'm trying to do it quickly so we don't waste too much of the time. I've got the Luigi hat. It honestly depends on how I'm feeling, Mr. Solitaire Man. Sound alert. Alright, so that should be fine now.
Welcome back. What would you like?
What do we got? Oh, if I can only have one of those at a time, then let's just have one.
Anything else?
Hey, how you doing, Flame? You missed the Legacy of
must
Kain
be
reference
tough, but-
yesterday.
Hang in there.
Behold, my whip is purple. What does that mean? It means it's, Vampire Killer! I'm gonna do that as many times as I can today. Yeah, that's crazy, Flame. In the foyer of Lara, like there's several, like you can unlock a skin for the Excalibur to be the Soul Reaver. A few of Lara's costumes have like the Raziel symbol and the symbol. But the one that we saw that didn't require us to unlock anything, he was in the foyer of Croft Manor. You can see on the wall the portrait of Human Cain that hangs in Cain's mausoleum in Legacy of Kain Defiance. Well, you've played Defiance. You know what it looks like in that portrait. Nothing like you did in Blood Omen. Really? Only the one time? Despicable, Flame. Over there streaming Batman Doom when you could be playing Legacy of Kain Defiance. Absurd. Absolutely absurd. Yeah, but for Stream Flame. The Pagoda of the Misty Moon. Fuck your stairs. I got $5. It said Pagoda. This is the final area of the game. Shit. Why there would be a pagoda in, like, 11th century Europe, I don't know. It's a Japanese building. Again, like, why there would be such a thing in 11th century Europe, I don't know. Oh, there's the pot button. The doppelganger's back. And this time, there's nowhere for it to run to. Not what I wanted. Vampire killer. Anyway. You dick. I feel like I need to get in the groove again a little bit. Okay, which one's draw up? Da. Alright, that's not bad actually. I quite like that. Easy enough to pull off too. That's a ranged attack. Yeah, not bad. I could get some use out of that. Big Mortal Kombat, no! With the button combos only going over 2 buttons, it is so much simpler. Like, believe me, I finished Conquest Mode in Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Those combos get absolutely absurd. And they take, like, all the buttons, 3 different forms by the end of them. They're just absolutely crazy to actually pull off. Alright, where does this one lead? Did you ever play any of the 3D Mortal Kombat's, Mr. Solitary Man? On, like, PS2, Xbox, GameCube? That's a lot of dudes. It doesn't really matter which one it is, they'll all serve the purpose of what I'm talking about. Because I have played all of them and they do all work like that. Yeah, I've played all of them. Although that is a fair point, I'd forgotten about Shaolin Monks. Shaolin Monks does not work the same way as the others. Played MK9, yeah. No, MK9 was different. How much damage are these guys going to take? None of them have gone down.
Move this man!
Yeah, they had Kratos in a bunch of things. Kratos was a guest character in the PSP Soul Calibur 2. But no, I forgot about Shaolin Monk specifically as I was thinking of the fighting games, rather than... I know which one it is. Specifically because I was thinking of the fighting games, and Shaolin Monks isn't a fighting game, and the versus mode in it is terrible. I say the PSP one so other people know what I'm talking about, other people who aren't as obsessive about knowing the names. Never played much of Broken Destiny. I know it was based on 4. I've heard people say, like, it's not very good as a Soul Calibur anyway, but, like, I know it's largely based on 4, and I didn't really enjoy 4 that much. So, yeah. Meanwhile, Tekken 6 on the Vita is based on Tekken 6 on console, and I did enjoy Tekken 6. So I played quite a bit of Tekken 6 on PSP. Oh, Soul Calibur hasn't done that since Soul Calibur 2. Well, no, that's not true. Since Soul Calibur 4. But again, I don't like 4, so fuck it. Oh, wow. Yeah, he was called Starkiller in his own game, but there was still, like, holding out on the name when Soul Calibur 4 came out, so they just called him the Apprentice. Because they were still calling him Darth Vader's secret apprentice in promotional material. What is going on here? Yeah, it feels like there's gotta be a gimmick to it, especially since I can't just leave. You know, thinking about it, chances are first time I ever fought skeletons was likely. I don't know why they just died. Was likely in Super Castlevania 4. Yeah. Jason and the Argonauts. The classic Ray Harryhausen stop motion skeletons. Classic. Here, let's get off this floor. The big trouble with doing the Pagoda and the Misty Moon is you have to essentially try and ration your items to get to the end, the final boss. Because Lament of Innocence isn't a game with a teleport system. Each area has to be done in like one run. That's odd, because I know I bought a sacrificial doll. Yeah, I didn't save after we came back in the castle after the cutscene. Fortunately, most of what we did earlier was the cutscene.
What would you like?
It's got to be equipped.
Would you like anything else? Anything else? It must be tough, but
Yeah, so it's got to be equipped on the accessory. There we go. Now we got the vampire killer. Oh well. Won't take me long to get back to where we were, though. Fuck your stairs. Going better. Let's go take out the doppelganger. Really could do with the camera not being always focused on the door whenever you enter a new room. Especially when that room's a boss room. This camera really is awful. Oh, I absolutely do. Like, I love Castlevania, but I will not shy away from saying when Castlevania has real issues. Which is a lot more often than anyone's comfortable with. And the camera is, like, a lot of the problem in this game. There's also the weird insistence this game has on navigating menus in real time. I want to use anything, like I want to change my equipment, I want to change accessories, I want to use an item, I have to activate this real-time menu, do it all in I can look through the menus here and reorder them. But if I try to do anything here, it tells me to do it in the real-time menu, which is the dumbest fucking shit. I don't think Devil May Cry 2 had it. 3 had it in areas, but not everywhere. That's right. The Skella Boys. The Ghost Skella Boys. Now these guys again, I've got to try and figure out how I killed them. Not these guys. I know how I killed these guys. Yeah, DMC4 had areas where it was still fixed. I think DMC, Devil May Cry, was the first one to have it completely free. Ninja Gaiden? No, Ninja Gaiden was mostly free. I think Bayonetta was all free camera. At least in gameplay. Yeah, so I don't know what's with these guys. The trouble more than anything, though, is, like, it's not like a free camera was unknown at this time. It's that they were still trying to come up with a reason for the second analog stick to exist, and hadn't really thought maybe it should just be the camera control. So there's a bunch of games you can find on the PS2, especially early on, that use the right analog stick for whatever they can think of. I think the most common use for it was, menu navigation. No, not menu navigation. The, first-person camera. Especially Rockstar games did that a lot. Grand Theft Autos did that, I think, up until San Andreas. Manhunt did it. Sonic Heroes did it. I think Sonic Adventure 2 might have done it on GameCube. And then there was stuff like this and Kingdom Hearts that used the right analog stick for menu navigation. I say it was a while before it really caught on. You can't really blame the Dreamcast for not having a second analog stick. Because when the Dreamcast came out, nobody had a use for the second analog stick. Like, it took longer to catch on than you think in retrospect. Fucking exact same death place, exact same reason. Yeah, we were definitely moving in that direction anyway. The prevalence of mouse and keyboard, once mouse look became a thing in PC games, it was like, oh, mouse control the camera. Like, it was kind of just dead certain that it would end up that way on console. Because it was the smartest way to do it. It solved, like, most of the problems of bad cameras. And even stuff like Soldier of Fortune, like playing Soldier of Fortune on Dreamcast. Like, he's got what's basically a mouse and keyboard analog to on controller. Where you move with the face buttons and aim with the analog stick. And that kind of thing had, like, been in console gaming since at least GoldenEye. It certainly did. Oh boy, it would have been great if I could have seen that fucking thing coming when I came in the corridor. This kind of shit is why I lose my patience for this game in this area. Like, constantly pointing the camera at the door. And they've got to. They've got to point the camera at the door. So you can see the door when you leave. So when you're near the door, the camera has to be facing the door. Because it's such a bad setup. And you can't have camera controls because they've dedicated the right analog stick to the real-time menu, which is awful. So it's one problem creating a bigger problem. Yeah, like I was talking about, because I was kind of high on this last week. I was talking about the idea of to stretch this session out and make it feel like a worthwhile session. And maybe I'd go and do all the optional stuff. And like I realized today going into this, like, no, the Pagoda of the Misty Moon is just fucking awful. And will take all of my patience. It's disappointing because, like, there is a good game under here. The combat isn't bad. Like, a little refinement, you could get something really good out of it. The fact that this is every room in the pagoda is excessive, though. And it creates a problem when getting to the boss, which isn't easy. And, like, you need as many healing items as you can get. But there's no quick way through it. So the best thing you end up being able to do is go through the pagoda, figure out the path, unlock the door to the boss, go back to Ronaldo, stock up on items, and then run through. Honestly, Flame, I don't know. We'd have to go through Curse of Darkness. Because I've not done Curse of Darkness in a very long time, and that's a game we didn't even do for the last Castlevania marathon. We did Lament of Innocence for the last marathon, we didn't do Curse of Darkness. So we'll have to see about that when it comes up. I believe it was, yeah, because there was a heavy emphasis on backtracking and such. Right now, more than anything, what I want is to find a save point. So, like, I'd probably class this as a game that's fun to start. And, like, probably the best way to play this from the start, I think, would be maybe use a cheat disc, like an action replay or game shark codes or whatnot, to start this with all of the combos. So you have, like, the entire combat system available to you. And then, like, once you kill all 5 of the regular bosses, maybe just call it. Because it's a game that I think it's another one of those games I think is probably fun to start, but it's not fun to finish. Like Super Mario Sunshine. There we go. Hey, how you doing, Peach? How far am I? All right. What would the use of the Vita, the 6 tablet, be? Oh, there we go. I'll use it, definitely. And then we take it back and we have 4. Now, we go all the way back to the center room. The real trick of the Magatamas acting strangely is knowing, like, which ones have the positive benefits and which ones don't. Because it's not a random thing. That's right, Flame. It was too heavy for us to flip. You might be asking, but then how were you able to carry it? And the answer to that is shut up. Yeah, I think in Magatama, if you get cursed by it, it's always going to be a curse. Or that kind of thing. But the curse itself has hidden benefits. Like, there are certain fusions you can only get while cursed. You know what? Not that one. Not that one. That one. There we go. Yeah, it really was. I don't feel like I could move fast enough to deal with it while trying to activate the switches and the time limit. Oh, it's Clem. Ban him. There we go. That was kind of pathetic. Hey, Clem. Oh, it's Crime Hazard. Absolutely ban him. Hey, Clem, check it out. I got my vampire killer.
And then I had...
Huh? Would you stop? That, dear Peach, is Vampire Killer. The joke is that we killed our wife, and now we have the Vampire Killer whip. And Vampire Killer is also the name of the Stage 1 music from the first Castlevania game. That specifically, I believe, is the Castlevania Judgment remix. It's a very recurring theme. Not as well loved as Bloody Tears, but I like it. Honestly, wasn't that? She was a vampire. And the choice was, like, she becomes a full vampire and we have to put her down, or while she still retains her soul, she can sacrifice herself to power up the whip to its full power so we can take revenge on the vampire that turned her, and no one else needs to suffer her fate. Because if the wit wasn't complete, wasn't the vampire killer wit, we couldn't defeat the evil vampire at the head of the castle. And now I can do this. Don't fuck with me. I have the power of God and my dead wife on my side. I love how powerful the holy water is if you get it just right. Up. Up. No, Walter Bernhard. From hell's heart I stab at thee. I'd like to remind everybody that 3D platforming, not the easiest things at the best of times. But then make the camera fixed. He sucketh without protection. So, I believe there is actually a hidden item in this room. There we go, there's another door. A secret door. There we go. Just like the last time we were in a dark room. That's right, and I'm going to show everybody. Anyway. I apologize. I realized I was still muted. So the stone unlocks the prison seal for all eternity. It opens the prison underneath the castle where the super boss is. Here you go. Lame, you gotta translate that into 3D time. First 5 minutes in 2D, 5.5 hours in 3D. Who shoots 4 fireballs? Go. Exactly, it's 3 or it's 5. Who shoots 4? Three shall be the number of the counting, and the number of the counting shall be 3. It's disgusting, Clem. I do not approve. How dare you not be in my stream? I streamed all of Tomb Raider and you were not there to see it. Absolutely terrible. Lynn, this isn't a democracy. Your votes do not matter. So tired of these gargoyles. These gargoyle motherfuckers. need votes. You can all vote for whatever you want. I'm not going to listen to them. Oh, we die. La resistance. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Because it came up on the wheel. The wheel of fate. She absolutely would be a Tory, wouldn't she? That's what happens when you come from old money. Oh, there wasn't. Oh, yeah, there was. You know what? I forgot about that. Yeah, alright. No, okay. Well, the votes won then. Okay? Don't blame me. I voted for Kodos. Oh, goodness. Well, anyway, we finished Tomb Raider yesterday, and then we spun the wheel, and the wheel landed on the Punisher. So the Punisher will be the next game. On 3, 4, 5. I'm thinking, like, once we do the Punisher, maybe a Dragon's Crest. So this is stupid, right? Because we come to this room to pick up, like, the room before this one, to pick up a tablet with VI written on it. And then we have to go into this room here, this square room. Can I zoom in? This room here, to flip it around to make it a 4, and then come all the way back to this room to put it in, to come into this room to get the item that unlocks this door here. It's very understandable, Peach. And I will be playing Frank Castle as he was depicted in the Punisher Max comics. Bear in mind, like, the game is somewhat based on the Punisher Max run of comics, where Punisher has been operating, where Frank Castle has been operating as the Punisher for 30 years. And this whole idea that Frank Castle is a good guy does not vibe with that. Absolutely does not gel with that. Microchip, who is a regular recurring Punisher ally, sells Punisher out to the FBI. It ends with the warehouse they're holding up in being assaulted by the mob. And Frank Castle has to team up with the FBI to, like, take out the mob and everything. The end result of it is Frank Castle manages to get away, and he shoots Microchip in the head for his betrayal. Bear in mind, Microchip didn't sell him out to the Mafia, he sold him out to the FBI. That is Frank Castle. That is the Frank Castle we will be playing as. The game has this weird idea of, like, the interrogations are a big part of it. So you interrogate bad guys, and if they give you if you succeed, they give you the information, you get points. and then you let them go, and you get the points for it. But Frank Castle, the Punisher, as he is written in the comics, especially of the time, would not do that. Frank Castle, the Punisher, as he was written in the Punisher Max comics, would then kill the informant. Because that's who he is. And that's the Frank Castle, the Punisher, we will be playing as.
Is this okay? Would you like anything else? Is this okay? Is this okay?
Everybody dies. The only ones who don't are the Innocents.
Is this okay? Would you like anything else? Anything else? What would you like today?
Just like, if you do not gel with that, I absolutely understand that you don't want to be there, because it ain't pleasant. Frank Castle is not a pleasant person. Frank Castle is not the good guy. And that's what we're playing as. But yeah, in response to what you said, Clem, yes, Amazing Spider-Man issue 129, the first issue of the Punisher. Back when, like, had very comic book style outfit. There we go. But yeah, I think after that, what we'll do is spin the wheel of RPGs. See what comes up. That should be fun. Frank Castle's code is no innocence. That's literally it. He knows he's not a good man doing good things. He knows he is a murderer. And that is the Punisher at his best characterization, I think. There's a particular panel, a particular page you can find where Frank Castle goes off on a group of cops who are praising him. And, like, one of them shows them, oh yeah, like, a bunch of us really agree with what you're doing. Well, we wear Punisher badges. And he rips it off them and absolutely tears into them. Like, he is not a hero. What he does is not good. He's not someone to look up to. And if they want somebody to look up to, Captain America is the person for it. And that's the characterization of Punisher that I want to go with. He's at war with criminals. And not like a war like Batman has, he's actually at war. And there is no victory for him besides total annihilation of the enemy. And a big part of the problem with depicting the Punisher in the modern day is depicting a version of that people aren't going to sympathize with or see as the hero. Because people are fools. Especially in the modern day where everything has to be an extreme. So, like, empathize with, don't sympathize. I think is the key way to work Punisher. A character you can empathize with, but not sympathize. Alright, we're gonna take... I'm gonna say 3 shots at this. No more. 3 shots. Prison of Eternal Torture. Yeah, it's specifically why I say, like, it's a difficult character to depict these days, because far too many people will absolutely be like, yeah, no, Punisher is the good guy, killing criminals. Like, there's due process for a reason. And in comic books, you can make everything, like, in fictional media, you can make everything black and white. These guys are unambiguously evil. You can't do that in real life. Alright. Gotta watch out for these things, because they curse you if they hit you. There's a lot of them. Yes. Could have brought more. Oh, watch out for the blood. The blood is what poisons you. Well, turns off. Yes. It's a fair point with Hulk Hogan, and it's fascinating to see how the world turned on him. The wrestling world, at least, generally. As more and more came out about how much of an absolute cunt he is. Which has been absolutely fascinating to see. And how, generally, you're talking Israeli heel character, the Iron Sheik, of course. And how much people love the Iron Sheik and wish he was still alive. To, like, absolutely still give Hogan what for, because even outside of kayfabe, Iron Sheik spoke his mind about a lot of shit, especially Hulk Hogan. Yeah, watch out. Watch out. There's also a thing of, you think, oh, Jesus couldn't do that now. Vince McMahon is a guy who has never given a shit about that. Vince McMahon, if he thought it was entertaining, would still absolutely do that. Because that's exactly the kind of person Vince McMahon was. Or is, he's still alive. The Netflix documentary on Vince McMahon is the most mainstream thing in wrestling in the last few years. Before that, the most mainstream wrestling expose to happen in literally decades was the episode of Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, where he looked very specifically at wrestling. And did a really good job of highlighting how much of an absolute shit Vince McMahon is. And the things that he would do and get away with, because he had, at the end of the day, creative control over storylines in WWE. So anything that went on TV went through him first. He got final say on everything at a specific point. And there's a lot of shit you can find, even like post-2000... post-2003, post-2008. There's just like... You'd think somebody running a business, regardless of how much an absolute shit they are, would have better sense than this when it's an entertainment business. It's like, nah, Vince McMahon didn't care. He thought it was entertaining, it went on. Very careful not to get poisoned. The whole thing with the sex scandal that happened, where he was kind of forced out for a while, and the way he, like, essentially ended up holding the company hostage to get back into position as chairman, was absolutely insane. You didn't think it was going to be that easy, did you? That was phase 1. Yes. Why did that hit me? I was absolutely over the hand there. Alright, final phase. I think we've seen enough of that. I did say 3 tries. That took a while, though. You've all seen him now, though. I could probably do it on a second try. I go and get some more potions on curses. I could probably do it. The problem is, like, the time. Like, that's a lot of time just on the first phase. Even as the first phase is quite easy. And, like, I am going to be frustrated enough with the final boss as it is. Let's go! Always know your limits, kids. Put on a good show, but always know your limits. Yeah, that's the Forgotten one. And supposedly that boss alone is the reason this game got the age rating it did. Which, I don't remember what the age rating was. Yeah, this way. I'm glad I showed it off at least. That was the important thing. Like with the Digital Devil Saga replay, like, I don't expect to win against Demi-Fiend, but I want to show it off at least. Besides, when we get to, stuff like Portrait of Ruin, you're going to see, like, all the bosses and such. The Nest of Evil. Unlocking that's going to be the frustrating part. And once you're in there, it's not so bad. Like, unlocking it. Oh god, I love climbing these stairs. I love climbing the stairs to the Castle Keep in these games. Walter, you dick waffle. I've come with the vampire killer.
Welcome. I have been waiting, Leon.
Walter, I will never forgive you.
I see. It seems you have enjoyed the gift that I gave you.
Yes. Thanks to that, I now have the power to defeat you.
Well, that power is quite something. But I am beloved by the night. You will taste my powers.
I'll kill you and the knight!
Interesting. Now the curtain rises on this delightful...
Wait until you see fucking Isaac in Curse of Darkness. It's like, hey, have you watched the Castlevania Netflix series? With Hector and Isaac, the Devil Forge Masters? They first appeared in Castlevania Curse of Darkness. And Hector looks fairly similar in the Netflix series to how he did in the game. Isaac does not. And I don't just mean because he's black in the Netflix series, like, there's a lot different there. Wait till you see that. Alright, let's fucking go.
There is nothing left to protect you. I'll fulfill my promise to Sara now!
You didn't think I'd bring the vampire killer, did you?
The power of the night is still within. I shall teach you the meaning of true terror.
Oh, did I equip the, I did not. Backflip. Holy water. Goddamn vampires. Not impressed. The important thing is to make sure you don't spend all of your resources on this fight. There goes the sacrificial doll. That's right, I can parry your bullshit. There we go. I knew that'd get your attention, Bane. Welcome in. Camera's terrible. Oh, fuck off. God damn it.
Now you join her.
Fine. Let me tell you what I tell everybody who comes in here. The law is powerless to help you.
Alright. Complete focus. No, it's good. It's kind of ridiculous that attack did as much damage as it did. I had like maybe a quarter of my health left. And it was just all gone then. That's kind of crazy. Yeah, let's do this. Well, to you, Dick Waffle. Vampire killer. It's too fabulous for me. Oh, we'll see about that. Thank you. To be fair, like, at least part of the problem is the real-time menu. As with many things in this game. Yeah, was that for a combo? Do it. Come on. Vampire killer.
It can't be. This should not have happened.
Sara's suffering. And Ronaldo's grief. Carve them into your cursed body and perish.
But with my powers, I will surely come back to life. I could not obtain the Crimson Stone. But someday, it will be mine. No! You betrayed me! I shall take your soul! This power I offer to the king who wields the Crimson Stone! Excellent. I never spent a better night.
Matthias?
You didn't disappoint me, Leon. I knew without a doubt that you would accomplish this.
What is the meaning of this?
I needed a powerful vampire soul.
This being Matthias' first in-game, actual in-game appearance of the game,
Not just you.
is a mistake.
Your
They should have
true
absolutely had
Ronaldo.
the intro that says, "Oh, Matthias told you about
I used all of you.
Sara being kidnapped." That should have been in-game, not a narration.
Thought it would go so well, though. Is that red stone?
Because he appears there and it's like, who is this?
Ah, you know it. I'm impressed. I made Walter's soul mine with the power of this stone. I sense a rage from this whip. Matthias, you abandoned humanity? That's right. By becoming a vampire, I obtained eternal life. That was my goal. It was my revenge against God. Revenge against God? We have risked our lives and fought for the sake of God. But God mercilessly stole away the one I loved most. When all I ever wished for was Elizabetha's safety. If limited life is God's decree, then I shall defy it. And within that eternity, I shall curse him forevermore.
Okay, cool. So, because your love died, you swore revenge against God and set all of this up. Your machinations resulting in the death of my love by my own hand. And you think this is going to work out between us?
You eternity too. You wretched fool. What? Is this what the woman you loved would have wanted? The Matthias I know would not have loved such a woman. Elizabetha was a kind, honorable woman. She was concerned only for me to the very end. That is why I hate him. Am I wrong? Did you not defeat Walter with hatred in your heart too?
Yeah, but then I learned it was all your plan. Which means that hatred now very smoothly transfers over to you. Figure that out, Walt. Like an idiot.
Was Sara's dying wish. Granting my beloved's wish. That is all I can do to prove my love to Sara. Eternity without her would be nothing
Kick his ass.
but emptiness. Leon, I thought that you would understand.
Guys, by your own logic, you would be my enemy.
Farewell, Leon. Death is all yours.
And now the final boss of the game.
By my master's orders, you will be destroyed here and now!
Fucking go. He's boring and isn't ass. Welcome in, Lena. I put way too much powder in my hot chocolate today. 3 teaspoons my ass. You missed. You stupid bitch. Oh, you're gonna get it. Doesn't matter, you don't like holy water? When I'm good, I'm so good. And when I'm bad, I'm absolutely terrible. Oh boy. You cheeky bitch. Okay, kind of bullshit. This, if we win, is going to be tight. Got any other tricks in that bag of yours? Bitch.
To think that I would be...
I have the power to destroy all related to the vampires. Though you have divine powers, you are no exception.
Unfortunately for you, as long as my master survives, I will rise from the dead.
I see. Give him this message. You have become a cursed being, and I will never forgive you. This whip and my kinsmen will destroy you someday.
Even if it takes 1,000 years.
The Belmont clan will hunt the night.
Tell him I'm gonna kick him in the dick as well. Vampire killer. Thanks for the GGs, Clint. So that's the only time Death gets to be the final boss. Because Matthias, in his youth as a vampire before he becomes Dracula, runs away like a bitch. Because I would have wrecked him.
So, he did it.
Castlevania, Lament of Innocence. It's not an awful game. But, like, it's very repetitive, and it will absolutely drain you by the end. Delayed what, Peach? What Ronaldo's talking about there is with the rising of the sun, Leon Belmont has defeated and destroyed Walter Bernhard, ending the eternal night that reigned over the forest. He did do it. I did it. Or Sara. Thank you for the GGs, Mr. Solitary Man. Yeah, Castlevania Lament of Innocence. It's not awful. Like, you can absolutely do worse on the PS2. I think it's a game that would definitely benefit from a remake. Something that would expand the story more. Ah. Yeah, because at that point, Ronaldo has no idea about Matthias or Death. I want to know who voiced Matthias, because that voice was very familiar. Yeah, the Matthias stuff needed to be more in the game. Ronaldo mentions Matthias a few times in the secret book of alchemy that Matthias' family holds. Matthias being the twist true villain, because that's what this is about. Eventually you get to the end and it's revealed that Matthias orchestrated all of this. And Matthias becomes Dracula. And he becomes the true villain of the series. Matthias not having an in-game presence until that moment is a mistake.
And so the story of the Belmont clan's struggle against evil begins.
Might be Crispin Freeman.
However, Matthias and the Belmonts will not meet again for hundreds of years. Matthias goes into hiding in foreign lands and continues to curse God for eternity. Eventually, he names himself Lord of the Vampires, King of the Night. The years before their next meeting pass slowly and quietly, but with finality. The intermission in this exquisite play from which two souls will never escape.
Now we can play as Joaquin, which we will not do. Crispin Freeman, he was a popular anime and sometimes video game voice actor in the early to late 2000s. I don't know anything he's done in the last years. Chances are you've seen other roles he's played. If you ever watched the English dub of Hellsing, he played Alucard. Very good at it. Yeah, Matthias needed to be actually in the game. The narration the game begins with of Matthias telling Leon that a vampire has stolen his betrothed should have been in-game. It shouldn't have been a narration. Because that way, when Matthias shows up, you actually know who he is. As what's intended to be an origin story for the conflict between the Belmonts and Dracula, the story is too light, I think. There should have been a stronger focus on the story. A similar issue Resident Evil 0 has, though not to as bad a degree as Resident Evil 0 had it. Overall, I think it's a reasonable enough Castlevania game. It's probably like a 6. 6 out of 10. You can do worse, you can do so much better. And unfortunately, it doesn't even have like the interesting level designs that Castlevania 64 has. It might not be as rough around the edges as that game. That game's more interesting. Spin the wheel. Find out what Castlevania game we're doing next. Yeah. I loaded up the wheel.
In an era long past, as monarchies weakened, local feudal lords grew in power. The first knights simply protected their lords' domains. However, with the reforms of the late 11th century, knights became protectors of the peace. They valued courage and honor, fighting heretics and heathens in God's name. In this age, one company of knights was said to be invincible, due to two men. Leon Belmont, a courageous man who feared nothing and whose combat...
I could just set this up in the intermission screen. That'd probably just be a good idea. Oh, no. That looks good. So anybody want to guess what we're going to get? Bane's suggested Harmony of Dissonance. The names are all visible on the side. They should be big enough for you guys to see. So if you guys want to take a shot. While you do... Ritual of the Night. Let's see what we got. What is the music I have for this? Oh, it's Lost Pain. So I believe they talk about how the Belmonts and Dracula will not meet again for hundreds of years. The next meeting, I believe, is Dracula's Curse, Castlevania 3. I could be wrong, though, because I do not remember when Castlevania The Adventure takes place. Anybody else want to take a guess at one of the names down the side? I will shuffle these up before we spin them. There are 20 games currently on there. There's a few more to be added as we do stuff, like Curse of Darkness isn't on there. That will get added after Akumaju Densetsu, which is the Japanese version of Castlevania 3 Dracula's Curse. So, Smash Ultimate, they added 2 Castlevania characters, a Castlevania stage, and I think a single Castlevania assist trophy. But I think there's like 70 Castlevania songs in the game, with numerous remakes, this being one of them. Apparently, the music composers for Ultimate were told, like, yeah, there's like some Castlevania's in this game, like some tracks for it, and they went crazy with it, which is really fun to learn as a Castlevania fan. Anybody? Nobody else want to take a guess? What about you, Clem? 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 Yes. Order of Ecclesia, an interesting one. One we've not done on stream before. We've done Ritual of the Night before, we've done Symphony of the Night, we've done Castlevania Chronicles, we've done Aria of Sorrow. We've done part of Legacy of Darkness, we didn't finish it because the controller pack fucked up. So we lost the save for it. The perils of playing on actual hardware. We've done Portrait of Ruins before, we've done Lords of Shadow. The rest of them we haven't done on stream. Bloodlines, if that comes up again, that will be the John Morris playthrough. Castlevania 64, if that comes up again, will be the Reinhard Schneider playthrough. If you're hoping for one of these in particular to come up and it doesn't come up, don't feel too bad about it. We are doing every game on this list. It's just about when we get to them. But they will all be done for Castle-Day-nia. So if nobody has any other predictions, we will spin the wheel and find out what we play next. I didn't shuffle the fucking board. I apologize for that. I didn't shuffle the board like I said I would. It's funny because I would have preferred Akamajo Densetsu. Castlevania Circle the Moon, released on the Game Boy Advance, I believe as a launch title. This is another game released in Europe as just Castlevania. I don't think I have a specific ROM hack for this. Like, there's a couple of games here that we'll do ROM hacks for various reasons. Like, with Bloodlines, we did the revised edition hack. With Harmony of Dissonance, when we do that again, we're going to do one of the recolor hacks. That recolors, like, the entire game to make it less, like, eye gouging. Because it was originally intended for a system with no backlight and a very dark screen. So it has a very bright color palette that looks horrible on anything with a backlight. So we'll do a recolor of that. But Circle of the Moon, I don't have anything like that for it. So we will play the Castlevania Advance Collection for it. So next week, Castlevania Circle of the Moon, which is the first Metroidvania that's come up on the wheel this year. Which is great, because we love the Metroidvanias. I think it's the worst Metroidvania. But it was the first one they did on a handheld. And, like, the ambition is there, and it's really, the ambition is really strong. It's non-canon now. When Koji Igarashi defined the Castlevania timeline, this was one of the games that was rendered non-canon. And we don't play as a Belmont, we play as Nathan Graves, who kind of became a fan favorite for a little while. I think because of his design. Yeah, it looks good though. It's a good-looking Game Boy Advance game. And the biggest problem the game had is no longer an issue. It was originally too dark. Because it was a launch title for the Game Boy Advance, and the Game Boy Advance development kits that Nintendo sent out had a brighter screen than the final retail units. So a lot of the early games for the Game Boy Advance had graphics that were darker than you would have wanted them to be, making them hard to see on the original system. Which is why later games overcompensated and had much brighter graphics. But playing that on any system with a backlight, like the Game Boy Advance SP, the Game Boy Micro, the DS Lite, or the Castlevania Advance Collection, renders that a non-issue. Which is really good. We will remove that. Circle of the Moon does not lead to anything, so I don't need to add anything to the list. That should be fun. It's also the most prominent role Carmilla has in the original series. Like, Carmilla gets another fairly substantial role in the Lords of Shadow games, but in the original series she's a boss in Castlevania 2. She's a boss in Rondo of Blood. She was intended to be a boss in Castlevania 64, but they scrapped her. But you can still find, like, the 3D model they had for her in the files, and on people have extracted that and put it online. You can see it. She's a playable character in Castlevania Judgment. But this is the only time in the original series where she's a relevant character to the story, which is going to be quite interesting. So I hope everybody looks forward to that. I look forward to it. I look forward to playing more Castlevania. Good stuff. I'm going to call it here now because this stream has gone on long enough, I think, and starting a new game to feel like we've gotten enough out of that. I'm going to have to go for like another 2 hours or so, and I don't really want. If we were still playing Lament of Innocence, fine, but we're not. Fine, you guys have had long streams lately, like really long streams. You can deal with one that's under 3 hours. But yeah, that is going to do it for us for today. And for Lament of Innocence. I want to thank everybody who's joined the stream. I always really appreciate the support. Big special thank you to everybody in the chat. Chat is always the best part of the stream. Who do we have? We had Clem, we had Panda, we had Mr. Solitary Man, Flame, Peach, Bane. I believe I said Panda. No. Teak wasn't here today, was it? I'm not. Yes, I do believe that was it. Yeah. Thank you all for joining. Chat is always the best part of the stream. We should be back on Thursday, beginning The Punisher for PlayStation 2. Not usually a warning I throw out. I did say Lino. Yeah, Arturus is Lino Bane. Not usually a warning I throw out, but given Peach's proclivity and hesitation with it, The Punisher is a violent video game. It was censored for how violent it was. It will be gory. We will not be holding back on that. I could possibly see about turning the gore off in the options. Might be an option. I will not. Bear that in mind. And then if I am free enough next Monday, we will begin Circle of the Moon. We will find out. But yeah, that is going to do it for us. So there's not really anything else to say, except thank you all for watching. Have yourselves a fantastic time of day. And yeah, we'll catch you next time, guys. Bye.
you